So now it is that your girl's recording. Let's go ahead. Let's start up this reaction, shall we? What's up, Jedi? So Cloud, shout outs to you, gang. Why does everyone hate interracial relationships? That is an interesting question. Very, very, very interesting question. Let's go ahead. Let's go start this up. Let's have this conversation, shall we?
Alright, so it feels like the internet just hates interracial relationships all of a sudden. And like, yeah, I understand, like, in society.
All of a sudden, historically speaking, you know what I mean? There's a lining of history behind that. I've done a couple of research and topics related to this. Jedi, thank you so much for the 200 biddies.
It's always been like one of those things that's just kind of a weird topic to talk about, but like it feels like nowadays it's getting to a point where it's crazy. Because you can't scroll on Twitter without seeing either a black woman or a white conservative getting mad that one of their racial parties is dating a girl or a guy outside of their race. Like, black women hate when they see athletes with white women, and white conservative men hate to see their snow bunnies with our beautiful black men. Pause.
Whoa.
Like, I tried to, like...
What? Cloud, come on.
When I said beautiful black men, I was trying to, like, refer to myself, but, like, it kind of sound gay. We're just gonna have to cut that out. My editor's not gonna cut that out. But in all reality, look, I don't understand why this is such a big thing. Especially when the people you're complaining about, you don't know them. Now, a big reason of why I'm talking about this topic is because recently, this whole Travis Hunter situation, if you don't know who Travis Hunter is, watch my last video. People were talking about his relationship because they thought his girl was a bad person and she was also a gold digger, which is not true. But you know how the internet be, you know how it is whatever. But another thing people were also commenting about, which really had nothing to do with the whole situation, is that she wasn't black. And for some reason, it's becoming a big trend to just hate on these athletes or judge these athletes in a certain type of way when they don't date black women and they are black, which is so weird to me. Crazy part about that Travis Hunter situation is his girl's actually half black, she's just half Latino too, which made that whole argument invalid. But
yeah, because anything that's really mixed with black is black by itself. Now, before it is that I go into this, right? So what is that case? It's like Loving versus Virginia. This was in 1967, 1969? I need to look. Okay. The reason why it is that I'm bringing this up, because historically speaking, that interracial dating was illegal until as of 1967. So there was a case called Loving versus Virginia, where there was a couple that was trying to get married, but they weren't allowed to because of the fact that they was interracially different. So it was a white man, black woman. And the U.S. Supreme Court was ruling it is a ban of interracial marriages due to the process, the clause of the 14th Amendment within the U.S. Constitution, or whatever the case. So Richard Loving, a white man, and his wife Mildred Loving, a person of color, they were sentenced to prison for violating Virginia's Racial Integrity Act of 1924, which criminalizes marriages between people that's classified as white and people that are classified as colored. Also, Mildred, when it is that she was also imprisoned, it was also she was pregnant at the time. That's why it is that thing is so significant. But the reason why it is that it's such a big thing as of now, I hate to say this, but there's always that debate between black men and black women. It's always been that way for some reason. But it's like, all right, cool. Well, I found somebody it is that like loves me. This is in this. There's nothing wrong with interracially dating because it is. I've done it before. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, my best friend is married to somebody who's white. There's nothing wrong with that at all. The problem comes into play is when it is you're boasting about dating someone it is that is not that's not black or that's white, or it's almost as just like, oh well, my wife, like sometimes it is I see this, my wife, she's more submissive. I don't got to worry about the whole, oh well, why can't you do it yourself? This is and this, that type of thing. And then for us as black women, it's just like, oh, he takes care of me, he provides for me, he doesn't give me the, what is it you're gonna do for me? What is it you bring to the table? This and this. Technically speaking, both is wrong, but not wrong at the same time. The reason why it is that I say that it's not wrong, because in reality, that's what it is that you should be looking for within like a marriage. It shouldn't be like a debate between the two and whatnot. Between black men and black women, it shouldn't be a debate at all. But in the same breath, we are getting to this point to where it is with dating. It's almost as like a person's not only gonna date for just because of the fact that they like that person, love that person, whatever. They're trying to get some type of benefit out of it, and they're gonna try to get theirs before it is that they think that they get messed over or fucked over or whatever. And this is what makes things more difficult. People make relationships harder than what it needs to be. It's really not that hard. It's really not. It's just I would rather people go ahead and say it is like, hey, listen, this person really isn't for me. They're cool, but I like the benefits it is they bring to me. So I don't have to go ahead and work hard and actually do all the things it is that I need to do within a relationship and just get the benefits for free. I would really appreciate people being that more honest about that. Just like, hey, I don't see a future with you, but I just like the benefits you bring. It could be something that's sexual gratification, that could be an emotional thing, that could be a physical thing, that could be a, hey, you come over, you do things for me and whatnot, and then I go about my business. I'd rather that those things be a more of honesty. But the fact it is that like people make this bigger of what it needs to be within like interracial relationships. It's like, okay, cool. He's with somebody that is not black. Why does that bother you so much at the end of the day? And even if it is he was dating somebody that's black, there'll still be people trying to hate on this woman. I'm like, oh, she's not all that pretty. That's who she's interested in. But gang, you wasn't gonna get chosen, even if it is you was in that market to get them. So I don't understand why. Like, it's like people project so bad when they see relationships, bro. It's annoying. Wait, hold on. Let me get back.
I ain't gonna lie, that whole situation is just crazy, guys. You want to see me talk about it? It's like a 20-30 minute video, but you got that. Go watch it after this video. But after filming that video, it just kind of made me think about, why do people just hate on this type of thing? I mean, I'm a firm believer in you shouldn't care about how somebody looks. It's really a soul and spiritual thing. If you love somebody, my spirit gets connected to you, my soul gets connected to you. We should be together if everything else checks out. It shouldn't be oh, I like you, I really love you, I feel like we're soulmates, but you're Indian, I can't date you. What are we talking about? Oh, you meet all of my requirements.
I mean, there are some traditional rules within I hate to say this openly, but there are some Asian countries are very hard when it comes down to traditional rules, because those traditional rules do not necessarily coexist with interracially dating, unless if it is that you're dating white. I hate to say that. I hate to say that, because there is literally some Indian family members that will disown their daughters for dating somebody that's black. But if they was to date somebody that's white, absolutely, it'd be fine. It'd be absolutely fine. What's up, Quez? But those traditional rules within those countries is very hard to break. They're very hard to break. It doesn't even have to be South Asian, like, the Indian cultures. It could be with Chinese. It could be, well, it's not necessarily so much with Japanese culture, but it is wholeheartedly with like Vietnamese, Filipino, no. Sometimes Chinese traditions. I'm trying to think of some others. I know Vietnamese was difficult because I dated somebody that was Vietnamese, and like, I mean, very traditional mother. She was not down for it. She was not down for the cause. She was just like, I will absolutely, positively not. I mean, Trump supporter, all that. You would think it is that this woman was white, how her beliefs were. And it's like, damn, man, we go through the same issues, bro. We're both minorities. What are you talking about? But unfortunately, yes, but like with like traditional cultures, they're very hard to crack. They're very hard with they do not go for interracial dating whatsoever, unless if it's with some type of stature financial benefits and whatnot, and unless if it is that the person comes from with money, then it would make sense. But other than that, like, no, they are not down for the cause of that.
I like your personality. Everything about you is perfect, but I'm an Asian man and you're a black woman. It's just not gonna work out. Like, huh? That shouldn't exist. That shouldn't be a thing. Y'all shouldn't be getting mad at people, especially if you don't know them, for dating somebody that they love, because there's nothing wrong with that. We as humans are supposed to mix and breed together. That's just how life works. There's nothing wrong with a black man being with a white woman and vice versa. There's nothing wrong with a Hispanic man being with a white woman. There's nothing wrong with that. People be trying to make that such a big deal, and they be trying to say, oh, it's just I want to keep the culture strong. The culture's already strong. Not every
I mean, historically speaking, I mean, you can even go back down to just like slavery times and whatnot. Although it is slave women did not have the choice to go ahead and say no to the um um the owners, if you will. But I mean, I don't have to necessarily say the word, but you know what it is that they've done to those slaves in order to create biracial children. But even the slave owners' wives also did the same thing to the men within those times as well. There was a, oh, they're inferior, they are less than, like they're not smart, they're this and this, but then you would still forcibly force yourself onto the said same people. You know what I mean? Like it's stuff like that. It's you know, there was always like a taboo behind it, but it was almost as like a fantasy. And I hate, and I always say this is just to be careful when it comes down to interracial dating or people of different races. You know, because I mean I've had that happen, but a couple times as well. Of like people coming up to me, it was just like, oh, I never had chocolate before. That's not that's not a compliment in any formal way. Do not say that. Do not say that. Do not go to anybody that is black and it's just like, oh, I've never had chocolate before. That's such a backhanded compliment. But yeah, there are some people it is that will look at us as like a fantasy or a thing. It is, it's like, oh, I've never had this before, but I want to try it. I don't think it is I could bring this to my parents, but I would still want to like dip in it like occasionally, that type of thing. That's weird.
Everybody has to do what you want to do. You want to keep your roots and culture strong, you want to be with a black woman, go do that. That's your own decision. But you shouldn't be getting mad at other people for making a separate decision because they wanted to follow their heart. And somebody that really pisses me off with this whole little, oh, we gotta keep the culture strong, is Dr. Umar. The way that he villainizes white women should just be a crime. It's crazy.
What if your daughters come to you and say, Dad, I know your feelings, but I am falling in love with a guy outside my race?
And I will say, I will always love you as my daughter, and I will always be disappointed in your decision.
He
Damn.
doesn't do it with white women. He does it with any other race. He tried to do it with Travis Hunter's girlfriend, saying, oh yeah, I don't feel like he should be with her because she's not his sister. He obviously didn't do his research on that topic. But it's just weird because first off, why are you involved in these people's relations? But also, the concept of this is just ugh. Just because our skin colors don't align and we don't have the same cultural backgrounds, we can't be together. That's not how life works. Imagine if everybody just stayed to their culture and nobody interacted, bro. This world will be horrible. Humans are supposed to interact with different cultures and different races just to, you feel me, get a broad aspect of what is life. Life isn't just black. Life isn't just white. Life isn't just Indian. Life isn't just Asian. Life is all of us put together. So what's wrong with mixing together?
Tell that to the oh my gosh. Tell that to the colonists, the amount of people it is that has invaded into different countries and has taken over, they've used war, religion, fear, sex, all that to take down other countries. And for Dr. Umar, he has points to where it is it's like I can agree with, and then there's other points to where it is it's just like, nah, this brother tripping. Nah, this man is tripping here. But I mean, like, I'm not against interracial like dating and interracial marriages. I'm really not. But I can see to some degree to what it may be, because you gotta realize this, and especially for us that are black, you dating somebody that's outside of your race, they will never understand the level of fear, level of concern, the level of like walking on eggshells it is to be black and to deal with black issues. Like everybody wants to be black until it's time to really be black. then it's just like you know, and that's including with like getting features to look darker, getting features to get bigger, features it is that they organically never really had before, whatnot. It's cool to be black until it is time to be black, where we do not systemically have the same equal rights as everybody else. So that's why that itself is already a problem, and it still is a problem leading into 2025. So dating outside of the race, some people can tend to look at that as just like, oh, you're being a sellout, you're being this, and this, which isn't the case. But in reality, uh, the person do have to be mindful of, is this person dating you because it is like they actually want to be with you, or is this for a fantasy thing? How are they going to be able to handle the stuff where they cannot relate to of their partner dealing with black issues? Those are very big things that does need to be talked about within interracial marriages and relationships and stuff. And this also includes when it is you have children. If your children came out lighter, if your child came out darker, now it's also defining the identity, because people that are mixed tend to, depending on if they are lighter or darker, you have this identity issue of fitting in, of just like, do I hang out with people who are more predominantly white, or do I hang out with people that are black? Are people that are black, are they going to get on me because of the fact I'm light? Or like, do I have to prove more self to be black? Where do I get accepted in? Those are all going to be major issues to think about when it is that you are dating outside of your race.
It doesn't make sense to me, and I feel like that's low-key. No, that's not low-key. It's racist. If you feel like your race should only be with another race, I feel like you're low-key racist. And I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me for saying that, but at the same time, I just feel like it's true. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't prefer your own race. Yo, do whatever you want. I don't care. And if you are racist, I don't care. I really don't. It doesn't bother me. I'm not really finna criticize you, but that's not, I don't feel like, at least I don't feel like that's true. I might be sounding a little bit harsh with this video. I'm doing this all in one take. I'm sorry. But again, if you think that yourself, that's whatever. You got that. It doesn't matter. My only issue with this whole thing is when you exert your beliefs onto other people, and you criticize and you disrespect other people just because they're with somebody that you feel like they shouldn't be with. Nigga, get a fucking life. Damn. Why do you care about somebody else's relationship so much? It doesn't make sense. And that's one of my big problems with this whole internet thing, bro. People are becoming so parasocial. If you don't know what that word means, it's right here. But people are becoming so parasocial with these people that they don't know on the internet, and they're just judging them. Why? I will never understand when black women criticize athletes so much just because they don't want to date other black women. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't understand why white conservative men do the same thing, but I do know what to call that. That's racist. And to all the black women that gonna get mad at me for saying that, you would call a white man racist if he did the same thing. Gang, racism isn't just a white thing, it's a general thing. And if you don't think that, well, I feel like you should look into the mirror. And like I said before, if you think this and you just keep it to yourself, I don't got a problem with you. But if you think this and you decide to criticize that black man for being with a white woman or an Indian woman or a Hispanic woman or an Asian woman, you are racist. Because if a white man did the same thing with one of his white girls, he's seen Billie Eilish, she with a black man, and he's like, she one of those. That's racist. And I know a lot of people not gonna agree with that take. I don't care. I've always been a content creator that gives my takes and opinions boldly. And if you don't like that, that's cool. You can still watch my content. You still gonna like some of my other takes. But we just had to agree to disagree. I just feel like that's racist. And me personally, I do prefer black women. So I'm not just saying this to cope. If you really know me and you look at any of my past relationships, I've mostly only been with black women. At the same time, I've been with a couple white girls. I've been with a couple Hispanic girls. I've been with a couple Asian girls. I don't think I've been with an Asian girl. There's not that many out here in Nashville. You get what I'm trying to say though. I don't care who you are. If I like you, I like you. I'm not saying you gotta be like that. But if you criticize somebody else for being like that, you're racist, and it is what it is. But see, one thing I don't like doing on this channel is bringing up a problem and not figuring out how it began. So let me tell you how I think it began. See, I feel like these white men and these black women and any other race that does this are honestly just insecure about themselves. Now, let me just say this right now. When I say black women and white men, I obviously mean this little subsections of those people who do this. You know, the only single 30-year-old black woman on Twitter that always talks about, what?
Not too much, gang. I'm in my 30s. Not too much on me, gang. Actually, it's believe it or not, it's really not like the people within the 30s. It's more so younger generation. It's always going to be the people in the 20s that feel like it is that they know more than everybody else. But But no, it's a lot of the stuff it is that I see is people organically within the 20s. Because I remember being in my 20s, that is something it is I was always talked about with like dating, relationships, and all the other stuff. It's just like, topics that's just gonna go ahead and just rage bait. It's rage baiting. The $200 dates. Oh, do women still do this? Do men still do this? Isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff like that.
This athlete with a wanker. Like, bro, I'm talking about the conservative white man. I'm talking about that older, beer drinking, non-woke white guy on Twitter that we all know, you feel me? We all know what say he bangs that real clan shit, you feel me? Those are the demographics that I feel like, honestly, are just...
You'd be surprised it is that they like some black women too. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. It's the same thing with like the people it is that are conservative. They be the same ones it is that be like a little man too. They be the same ones that's talking about like, oh, like look at that, like two men together. Oh, that's just preposterous. I can't believe that. Two women together. This and this. And meanwhile, they be like a little bit of men too. They got a whole family and everything. They like a little bit, they be sneaking in to do a little science. You know what I mean? It's okay. Just come on out. I'm gonna need you to come on out the closet. It's okay. You'd be surprised it is that like people who are conservatives love us. Those older white men, those middle-aged men, they be the main ones. Middle-aged white men that's married on a business trip, they ain't got nothing to lose. They be the ones just like, hey, listen, I like a little bit of chocolate. They be flirting with other black girls and everything. I've seen it. I've seen it myself. It was like, oh my goodness. Ring on the finger and everything. They don't care. They do not care. They be the ones that be in those little clan meetings. They be the ones like I've already told y'all this. Those same people that go to clan meetings are judges, doctors, police officers, teachers. The people it is that is within the society that's supposed to be helping out with a lot of the things going on. They be those be the ones that be at those clans, but they be the same ones it is that be liking black women too.
Insecure about themselves
and black men.
Because they're lonely.
Heavy on the black man.
I mean, it's kind of the concept of like, you don't really see happy people insult or try to tear down other people because they're already happy. But when you're not, you want to just bring down everybody to your level. And I feel like it's kind of that, but it also is insecurities. And let me explain. See, it's kind of similar to that one bigger fat girlfriend in the girlfriend group of all of the baddies. You got 10s out of 10s, you got 9 out of 10s, you got 8 out of 10s, and then you're just going to have like a bigger girl, man. Maybe if she was, you feel me, skinnier, she might be at the, you feel me, at the 8 out of 10s, whatever. But, and this is not my saying, I just heard this online, so don't come for me. You always need a fridge to protect the snacks. And that's just kind of how this
wow. Wow, Cloud. That is insane to say.
They need a bodyguard. That's just what they did. Whenever this friend group is out in public, you'll often see this bigger friend try to shoo away all of the guys who want to come and, try to rizz up, you feel me, her fine, attractive friends. And one of the biggest questions of all time is, why does this friend do it? Well, we all know she just wants attention and she's mad that nobody's coming up to her. So she's really just doing it out of jealousy, but she plays it off as like, girl, you're better than that nigga. He don't deserve you. Nah, you want that nigga, and that's why you're shooing her off. You're jealous because you don't have somebody to call your own. You're jealous because that athlete black guy doesn't want your sad, lonely ass. So you're going to get mad at them and say, oh, the snow bunnies are stealing our black men. Oh, the black men are stealing our snow bunnies. No, you're just lonely. No.
Believe it or not, I've told y'all this before. I had one of the old schools that I went to in Albany, New York, had an event that was called They Stole Our Black Men. And may I add, that was probably one of the controversial programs that I've ever went to on that campus, because the titling of that is already very like bold within itself. But it was showing a statistics on just with like who was the top chosen women to be in relationships to be married and everything. Then you, of course, you had the Hispanic, you had Asian, you had white, you Indian. We was at the bottom of the list. And for men, the bottom of the list for men was Indian men. However, the Indian men number was higher than Black women. And a lot of times it is that question is just like, why was that a thing? Why is it that, oh, we're at the bottom? A lot of people got offended during this, and I didn't get offended because it was just like, all right, it is what it is. It's not gonna affect me because, I'm still gonna get chose. So it don't matter. I've dated interracially, and I've dated Black men too. Your girl go get chose. But the problem that comes with this is like, why are we not getting chosen more than anybody else? And most of the men basically said it is that there was um a problem with being fully submissive. But the thing that people need to understand is that women off rip will be submissive based off of how it is you treat her. Let me just say that again. Women are organically submissive based off of how you treat her. So if you're treating her as an enemy, you're never going to get that woman to submit to you. Point blank, period. Everything it is you do outside of the bedroom is what's going to make her go ahead and be like, all right, let's get in it. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do. And there's always a struggle between Black men and Black women because there's always just like, oh, Black man ain't this, Black women ain't that. Black women, they be ghetto. Black women, they always wearing wigs and weaves, and they always talking like this is and this. Oh, Black men, they can't get no job. Black man is always broke. This is and this. It's always that debate within each other. Nobody else is doing that. So that's the problem within itself. We need to fix that within itself first, and then everything else will be perfectly fine. Do I feel like it is that us as Black women are hard to be with? No. And not at all. Not even within the slightest, to be honest with you. But the more it is that, like, we see stuff of, like, Zeus Network and all this other stuff and whatnot, it's not us, people of color, that looks at those shows and think it's a problem. It's the other demographics that look at this and just be like, we're like wild animals or something like that. And that's not even the case. Like, it's so crazy to think that stuff like that is why it is we got to work 10 times harder to be within normal society. It's annoying, actually. It's so annoying to deal with that on a day-to-day basis.
Nobody's stealing nobody. You see plenty of Black on Black relationships and marriages. You see plenty of white on white relationships and marriages. You got nothing to worry about. Oh, wait, nah, stand corrected. You do got something to worry about because nobody wants your lonely ass. And that is why they're criticizing other people. It's a sense of insecurity. And I truly do feel like these people need to just find something better than themselves. And
why did he do this?
To go outside.
Cloud, I can't take you serious with these sunglasses upside down.
Stop drinking them beers, stop drinking them wine, stop wearing slutty outfits and going outside thinking you're finna find a man, or you're just gonna find a man who wants to fuck you. And stop thinking that drinking beers, getting fat, and talking about how much you hate Coach Prime, Shador Sanders, and Travis Hunter is gonna attract you a wife that you want. No, people just think you're weird and racist. Nobody wants to hang around you, bitch. And this is the ultimate problem with these people. You're just miserable, sad, and you're a hater, and nobody wants to be around you when you're miserable and sad. That's your fault, twin. It ain't mine. Stop hating on Mike Snow Bunny. In the case of Dr. Umar, I feel like he honestly doesn't like white people, and he's for sure racist against white people, which I know it's gonna be such a big problem. You can't be racist against white people in America. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can be racist. Now, systematically racist is a whole different topic. That's a whole...
So, yeah, systematically speaking, no, you cannot be, because racism usually is not only looking at another race as inferior, but it's also trying to control it, also undermine it, make sure it is that it can't be prosperous and everything like that. Yeah, why? Yeah, like that within itself, that's racism. But can we be prejudiced towards each other? Yes, we can. We tend to do that to each other all the time. Can we systemically do something about that? No, we don't have that power.
whole different discussion. But verbally racist, yes, you can. If you call a white person a saltine, that's racist. Of course, it doesn't hit as hard as a white person calling you a hard R, but it's still racist because even though they don't really take offense to that word, they know that you're trying to offend them, so it's offensive, bro. But back to what I was trying to say, I feel like Dr. Umar is just racist. It's clearly obvious he has something against white women. I don't know what it is. It's one thing not to want your people to talk or date white women. Okay, that's a cool thing. But it's another thing to just blatantly just disrespect them. And I know he does it for content. I know he does it for a reason because it gets clicks and views. And I don't think he actually hates white women as strongly as he says he does. But at the same time, if the only way you're getting clicks and views is by offending a certain race of people, you shouldn't get them clicks and views, bro. You're not a good person of character. And I don't know why that's such a hot take.
If that's the case, then all those people it is that are red pill content creators, then they need to fall into that category too, because the people it is that are that off left of the streaming side that talk about women in general, doesn't even matter to what race it is that they are, talk about men and everything like that, that also needs to fall within that category too. Because if that, I don't feel like it is that they hate the women it is that they say that they do. They're just doing it for content, for clicks and views and everything. And unfortunately, people believe into all of that stuff of being disrespectful and stuff like that. Y'all already know how much I feel about the red pill content side, but you know,
take or crazy opinion. It's the same reason why people are trying to cancel Drewski. People are mad that Drewski is offending people to be funny, and they're not trying to support him. And while y'all can have your own opinions about that, this video ain't about Drewski. Offending people isn't good comedy. It's just offending people, especially if you could tell that person doesn't like you offending them. It's different if you call Kevin Hart short, okay? You feel me? He's heard that joke 1,000 times. It probably doesn't even faze him no more. He is short. But if you call Kevin Hart short and he starts crying, or you feel me, visibly looking offended, why are you calling him short? Come on, bro. That's not nice. That's not cool. That's not, you feel me? Imagine if he did that to you. We're really getting off topic, but y'all getting what I'm trying to say. Let's stop this whole trend of just hating on interracial relationships, bro. Especially in America. We live in America. The whole point of this country is just a melting pot of just mixed people coming together and creating new specimens, bro. Like an Auriel.
Wow, we still don't have the rights, even though it is we built the damn country. We don't have the same rights. It's never equally given to us. I mean, even the whole thing of like, I know there was some particular state that was working on giving reparations to people, but there was some type of stipulations behind it. Then there was people just like, why do they get reparations and we don't? That like, it's that type of thing. Yes, we live in America, and yes, we are a melting pot of different races, but we all equally do not have the same equal rights as what it is that we should. And especially us. It is that built this country. I don't think we're ever really going to be able to get that equal share fair, you know?
Reality, mixed people is one of the greatest inventions we've ever came up with, bro. Like, have y'all seen Blasians? Have y'all seen mixed girls in general? Have y'all seen black Latina girls? Like, bro, these are elite mixtures of people, and we're just seeing it all over America. It's amazing to see. I love it. Why are we hating on these type of relationships, bro? It's a blessing that we can have these relationships legally,
maybe I'm not retired.
Not suffer from martial law or the Jim Crows, and if you, let's not regress. Let's progress. Come on, man. Like, come on. What are we doing? I know a lot of people are not gonna agree with my take, but it is what it is. That's my
Congress,
take. That's just what it is. I love mixed people, bro. I ain't gonna lie, mixed women is my weakness. I'm not gonna hold you. I gotta lock in. I gotta chill. I made a video about this whole topic earlier this year, and in this video, I was talking about the black women side of it. Like, yo, why do y'all get mad when black athletes go to white women, but y'all can just go to white men? Ain't nobody bats an eye. At the same time, I ain't gonna lie. I just
you see who goes to white men. You see that. Listen, you see a stiff wig. You see a stiff wig, I promise you there's gonna be a white husband behind it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, a soft life comes with a hard wig. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, listen, it's the truth, bro. I'm sorry. You see something like that, and then you could tell it is that she don't got no real black friends. Because her hair would have been all different. If her hair is all different types of crazy, there would have been somebody just be like, hey, listen, at least, you know what I mean? Like, you know? It's crazy, but it's very true. Thank you. It is extremely true. It's like, dang, girl, listen, you in order to get a soft life, the wig got to be halfway on the head, and it has to be at least 3 years old and older.
Don't care about.
But the thing is, they be getting them bills paid. Hey, I'm not even mad with it though. Hey, listen, a little stiff wig ain't gonna hurt nobody. All they bills is paid. They ain't gotta worry about nothing.
But again, that just kind of proves to my point even more that these people aren't really mad at the relationship. They're just insecure about themselves, and they're mad.
Oh
that
my
they
goodness.
are lonely. That's just what it is. And if you're a married person doing this, yo, get a life. Let people be.
It's not even a Karen cut.
Stop being parasocial. I feel like the biggest problem with
it's not even a Karen cut. It's those synthetic wigs. You know, it's those synthetic glueless wigs that because synthetic wigs, you only got like 1 or 2 wears, and then it's not really all that great afterwards. Some of them are getting better. They're getting better. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, you get a nice little cheap synthetic wig. I even knew somebody it is that was buying wigs off of Temu, and I'm like, girl, I didn't even know it is you could do that. I didn't even know Temu sold wigs. What?
With today's society is people think that their opinion just needs to be heard. Like, no, it doesn't, bitch. I'm just keeping it real. It really don't. I'm trying not to cuss. At the same time, it really don't matter. You can keep your opinion to yourself, please, and thank you. Okay, that's it. Follow my Twitch, follow my reaction channel, and go follow my IG right there. Appreciate y'all for watching. You know I love y'all. Thank you.
Hey, listen, Cloud, I appreciate you, gang. But, there's a reason to why it is that interracial dating is an issue, and historically speaking, it's hilarious. Imagine a convo with Dr. Umar and Uncle Ruckus. You know what, bro? Why did I receive that comment? Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for the video. I appreciate you. Interesting topic. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. And shout outs to you at home. I will catch y'all in the next video.